Welcome once again to RKCS Hangzhou equipment tutorial. Today we're showing you the guitar and the two guitar amps that we use at this school. So we have the orange amp in the practice room and this Marshall amp is in the classrooms. Now first, how to use the orange amp. Like the bass amp, power is located at the back next to the power cable. And when it is on, we have a red light here. Once again, there are two channels which this cable can go into, but only one will give you a sound, which is the input channel. If you put it into the phones is short for headphones, and it will not do anything. Alright, once again, we have these three dials here, which are our signal strength. They affect the volume, but they are not volume themselves. You'll see there's little white dots at the top. Once again, just like on the bass amp and the sound system, they should be between 4 to 6. If they are too low, you will not get certain sounds. Now, there are two special things to know about this guitar amp. Number one is the tuner down the bottom. So if you turn it on by pressing this button in, when you hit the guitar strings, it tells you that this string is a little flat, but it is an E. If I hit another string, this is saying this is a B, so this string is very out of tune at the moment. But you can use this for the guitarist to learn how to tune the strings if you know the string names in English. And that is something we will teach in a later lesson. Now, this guitar amp has two settings, which is found here, which is clean and dirty. Now, the clean setting is a setting we are on at the moment, and it is a fairly standard acoustic sounding sound. Now, the clean volume button, when you're on the clean setting, is right here. It is this large one on the right. But if you switch to dirty, you have a different volume button, and it is this volume dial on the left. And when you play with the dirty sound, let's turn it up. It's a bit more of that rock sound than the clean sound. Now we'll go to the second amp that we use. Alright, for the second amp, the Marshall amp, the power button is on the top this time, right here. Once again, you have two places this cable can go in, but the input, which by now you should understand is the one where we need to plug into, is on the left this time. Now, this guitar has something rather unique. I'll explain a few things. First, gain is here, bass, middle, treble are our three inputs we've talked about, which control the volume but are not the volume themselves. You have a volume dial here. You also have a master volume here. This affects not only the guitar sound but the effects that are happening as well. Now you can hear we have this weird hum happening at the moment. That is because the effects are on. Best effect to have and easiest is just one, which says Plexi Classic, and that is quite an old school rock sound, but we have different effects. Slapback, old school. All of these create different sounds when you play. So depending on the song, you might want to choose a certain effect, and you need to remember what number it is to create these different sounds. Last point is about the guitar itself. Now, this one, as a general rule, just leave it in the middle, but it doesn't matter too much for what we're doing, where that lever is. This one, once again, is the main one which determines the volume, so it should be down to 0, but we can turn it up all the way up to 10. And this one, it depends on what make and model you have. They all do different things, so only worry about the one closest to the strings on both the guitar and the bass guitar.